All right. Football fans, what's up? Happy Monday, rise and shine. It's pre-snap. Read what's going on. Delay. Hit me.
Oh man, I was just woke up this morning. We had a little chat with the committee, and
Oh
we were
no.
talking about how the Colts just really haven't had a good quarterback since Andrew Luck. It's just we were just like, man, the Colts are just a quarterback away, and it just seems to be always the problem. But then it's like, at the same time, the Colts would be a lot better if they had 11 players on the field too. So there's that. We discussed a lot of things this morning. How are you doing?
10 players on the field. Andrew Luck. This is what you're doing to me. I'm rocking my Rams jersey, Marshall Falk, because they beat the Colts. Congratulations to them. A little ridiculous. I hate that committee. I hate him. I hate him.
It's a
I
pretty
hate the
good
committee.
committee.
I'm a
It's a
hater.
pretty good committee.
It's the worst committee I've ever seen. It's the worst, just like waking up in the morning. Uh, we are struggling to survive, but we got to start our week somewhere, some way, somehow. We'll get to Daniel Jones and the Colts in a little while. We're going to start with top five teams in the league, people. Who are your top five teams? I'll start with the top five. I'll give you mine. I'm still going with the Bills at number one, even though they didn't play against the Saints so well. They still got the win, so I got the Bills at one. Eagles right behind them at number two. They just win. They just keep winning. They are the Chiefs. I keep saying it. It's ridiculous, but they looked really good. Uh, I covered that game. That was great. They destroyed the Bucks, and the Bucks had a chance to come back, but couldn't do so. So they're number two. Three, I got the Lions. They're just moving on up. They keep winning. That it seems more and more likely that first week might have been like a little slow of a start against the Packers, and they were just a little rusty from preseason. So we got them at three. I do have the Bucks down at four. Some people might have them outside the top five. I get it. But the Bucks are looking like a really good team in the NFC, top of that division. They lost to the Eagles, but everybody keeps losing to the Eagles. The Bucks win all their one-score games except when they play the Eagles. Like, you're yawning in my face. You will
Nah,
not yawn in my face. It
nah.
is early, but we can do this.
I didn't yawn.
Yes, I saw it. I saw it.
I didn't yawn. I don't
And
yawn.
you did. You did. And then at number five, I have the Rams. They only lost. Um, who they lose? They lost to the Eagles, right? Yeah, they had that game won, and then it took a bunch of flukes to lose. I got them number five team. They played the Colts well. That was such a game of the week, pretty much. And unless you count the Cowboys and Packers last night, but the Rams, Colts, those are two of the top teams. And Puka Nakua, that guy's unreal. So we got the Colts just outside top five. I got them at six. But those are my top five. Let's hear yours, Delay.
Yeah, very similar top five to mine in the committee. So, yes, as always, last night in front of a Four Corners stop sign area, a group of scholars, analysts, and some of the
Scholars? I don't
world's
think you're hanging out with those
greatest
scholars.
minds fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to bring you the best top five in all of
Best
YouTube
top five.
football.
Mm-hmm.
It is time for the top five. Number five, the Buccaneers. They stay at number five. They did lose, but hey, they showed a lot of fight there. Almost kind of made it an interesting game. Almost could have potentially won it. Did not, but hey, you know what? They played the Eagles really well. That's a quality loss. At number four, the only new addition, and it's kind of going to be a little bit of a shock here, but hey, this team's been winning three in a row. The Seattle Seahawks, number four. They are a team that is looking a lot better. I'll just say that. Number three, the Detroit Lions. The Lions have been moving on up. They struggled week one, but since then they have been firing on all cylinders. They seem to be one of the best teams in the NFL. Number two, the Philadelphia Eagles. They just keep winning. They I don't know whether they're coming back from big leads or blowing big leads. They still win regardless of the situation. They are just winning. And number one, the Bills. I'm not gonna lie to you. They only beat the Saints by 12, but you know what?
Only.
It's still a good win. It's still a win. They did what they needed to do. But yeah, that's my top five. And yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
Well, yeah, we match up on the top three, which is pretty crazy. Close on the Bucks too. So we're on point. I guess I'm on point with the committee. Maybe I should hang out with you guys. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Hey,
Not
it's a good
gonna
committee.
happen. Bottom five. I will let you start, and you guys blast in the chat for your bottom five teams.
Bottom five teams. So at number, I guess 20, at 28, the Browns. The Browns again. They're pathetic. Got blown out in Detroit. They still can't believe they beat the Packers, but yeah, they're just not good. Flacco doesn't look good. The offense looks terrible, and to be honest, that win over the Packers might be their only win of the season. I don't know how they win it. I mean, they'll beat the Steelers in Cleveland, I guess, but other than that, it doesn't look good. At number 29, I have the Raiders. They're losers of three in a row. They beat the Patriots in Foxborough. I can't believe that. I still think that was it shouldn't have happened. And they're proving it right now with the 3-game losing streak, blowing it late to the Bears. Again, I don't think the Bears are great, but, I picked that game off. So lucky me, I guess. But again, not really much to brag about. At number 30, I'm just kind of projecting here when I talk about this team. I think the Jets are going to lose tonight, so I have them at 30. I think they're going to be 0-4. I think the Dolphins get their first win, so that kind of elevates them again. They had a quality loss considering they were only. I mean, again, a stupid player does stupid things against the Bills, so I think they are going to beat the Jets. The Jets will be 0-4 tonight. The Titans at 31 getting shut out by another 0-3 team. That usually gets you number 32. But luckily for the Titans, the Saints exist. So the Saints are at number 32. They're just terrible. And they need, honestly, they should go to their second-round quarterback, Shuck, because, I mean, I don't know why they're keeping Rattler. And Rattler's not the guy. I don't know why.
If it's going to make much
It
of a
is what it
difference
is.
right now, but yeah, they'll be going to Shuck sooner rather than later. But yeah, actually, you got a good point there with the Raiders, but I have them just outside the top five at 27. But man, Geno Smith is awful. We'll get more to him later.
Need to see more Kenny Pickett.
Sure, I don't know. I don't know about that, but
Kenny,
it's not good for Geno Smith over there. So my 28 is the Browns. Wow, Flacco. He's the worst. He had the worst QBR this week at 12.5, and that's out of 100. So, oof. And shocking, the Bucks, Baker Mayfield had a 22.3 QBR, which was second worst to Flacco, which is awful. But maybe that's just how good that Eagles defense really is. So I got the Browns at 28. We have the Jets at 29, probably going to lose against the Dolphins. But Fields is back, so watch out for that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, the Saints, I got them moving up a couple spots. They did okay against the Bills. They're still terrible. I got them moving up to 30, but they'll probably be falling back down to 32 very soon. I was shocked that they hung in there with the Bills and made it look like a game. So I give that a little credit. So they're out of the bottom spot. Then I got the the Dolphins at 31. So, but whoever's going to stay there is going to be the loser of the Jets-Dolphins tonight. So it's kind of hard to do the bottom five when the Jets and the Dolphins play each other, because after tonight we'll really know who's 31 at 29. So we'll see what happens there. And then Titans are the worst. They take the bottom spot over the Saints. They just do. They got shut out by the Texans. They were both 0-3 coming into the week. They got shut out. Cam Ward, oh man, he is looking more and more like a rookie every week. He's not getting any better. He made like a couple amazing throws in the first 4 games, like 2 of them. But look at this. He's 10 for 26, 108 yards and interception. 10 for 26. Who does this guy remind you of? Like, he's like Anthony Richardson, but he can't run. So that's even worse. You know, Richardson was able to win some games with his legs and make some plays, but Cam Ward, wow, it's just awful. That's why they get the bottom spots. He needs to progress big time. I know it took Bo Nix a few weeks last year to get in the zone, but it's been 4 weeks, and that was probably his worst game of the year. So he's getting worse, and it's just simple to say that that's not what you want to do, obviously. So
yeah,
bottom 5, we got the Titans that take the bottom spot, if you will. So that's what I think. But yeah, the Titans and the Saints are going to be battling each other for the worst team in the league.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree. I mean, I just have the Saints at number 32. I still think Cam Ward can be the guy. I really do. I
he
do.
could, he could.
I just don't. They just don't have the talent. They're the Titans. I don't know how many teams are going to be, winning with that roster. So I just, or how many quarterbacks will be winning with that roster. So I just, I don't know. I still have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah, when
Well,
you're
maybe
throwing
not
a
a lot, but
Stonehenge
I have a
river,
good amount of faith in Cam Ward. So
gotta have
anyway,
faith with 10 for 26. Because you always
yeah,
talk
not
about
good.
Anthony Richardson, and that's pretty bad. Uh,
I guess we'll
10 for
see.
26, that's 38.5%.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
All right, we're going to go and switch gears, and we're going to do studs and duds. We're going to start with our studs of the week, the top-notch players that killed it, that crushed it, that did so well for their teams. I'll start with my top stud is Puka Nacua. 13 for 170 yards and a touchdown to tie the game at the end there against the Colts. But 13 catches. With Devontae Adams and Puka's getting 13 catches, it's just insane. The Colts defense better than last year, but I don't think and nobody can stop Puka. He's got like the most catches in the league. He's just he doesn't have blazing speed either. He's like Cooper Kupp from a few years ago. No blazing speed, and he's just open every single time. So my first stud is Puka Nacua dominating the Colts. I got a few. I got 3 studs, but let's hear yours.
Okay, yeah. Well, I got 2, so that's perfect for with me going second. So my stud is pretty much his quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Of course, the game-winning touchdown. The 10 men on the field fiasco, corner falling or linebacker
And
falling.
yeah,
I
he
can't remember.
got tripped
It was
up.
beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. There was a little bit of hate watching there happening whenever I tuned that game in. I'm like, oh yeah, the Rams about to do it. I happened to turn it on. A lot of stuff happening. Great stuff. But yeah, Stafford, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. Stafford kind of going back to the Detroit days. I'm not a Stafford guy, never will be. But that was a good performance. So yeah, no, again, just another game-winning drive. I think he's moving up on that game-winning drives all-time list. I can't remember the specific number, but hey, he's looking pretty good. And you know what, the Rams, I'll be honest again, I didn't have them going to playoffs, but they look a lot better than I expected. So
I'm telling you, man. I've been
credit to
telling
the
you.
Rams.
I'm
Where
telling
credit
you.
is due.
You think
Not quite in my
Stafford's a
top 5
possible?
yet, but if they get some more wins here, I
Well, they're
could
top
easily see
5.
that happening.
They
Yeah,
are top 5. You think Stafford's a possible Hall of Famer?
I don't think so. That's I'm not. No, he's not. He was a compiler. Just being honest, he didn't do anything in Detroit. There aren't many losers in the Hall of Fame, especially in the modern era. I understand he has that ring, but again, I just I think that's more of a great team. That was a really good team. Like that 2021 Rams team, I believe that was just a great team. A lot of talent around him. Just I don't know. He was just a loser. I understand it was in Detroit. Not many people were going to win in Detroit, but he was just one of the other people that didn't win. So
yep,
I just can't.
I got him borderline. He could get in. He's got a Super Bowl, so and he's a better quarterback than Eli Manning. And Eli Manning's probably getting.
I agree.
In,
He's a better quarterback than Eli, but I don't think Eli should get in myself. But he's going to get in because whatever.
Roethlisberger's getting in, and what about Phillip Rivers? So those 3
Roethlisberger,
guys.
Roethlisberger easily gets in. Rivers, again, another guy that I think better than Eli. I would pick Rivers over Stafford. I mean, put Stafford on the Chargers. He's the one that's getting wrecked by Manning, Brady, and Roethlisberger in the playoffs. So yeah, it was just those 3 were just special. And then Rivers was that other guy that honestly, again, he just give San Diego a defense. I don't know. They seem to have a great offense every year, but their defense was pretty terrible.
All right, I'll give you the stats. I'll give you the stats of my studs. See if you can name it. 25 for 37, 270 yards passing, and 4 touchdowns. Does that ring a bell?
Mahomes, because that's my
Patty
other
Mahomes. Yes. Patty Mahomes crushing The Ravens, 37-20. Holy cow, Patty's back. What a time to break out and play really well. And Worthy only had 2 catches for 38 yards. But outclassed Lamar Jackson. Oh, man. Patty is back. They don't drop to 1 and 3 like the Ravens. But this is great to see if you're a Chiefs fan. I am not, but the Chiefs fans are starting to come to life. Patty Mahomes, my stud, destroying the Ravens. Possible playoff game here, but we'll see about those Ravens, which we'll discuss more in a little while. But stud number 2, Patty is back. Who do you got?
Well, I had Patrick Mahomes, but I just jotted someone down real quick because he deserves a little bit of love. Michael Penix. Michael Penix, 20 for 26, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. We've been ripping him. That's what we've been doing.
He's the
but tell you what, he rose to the occasion. He rose up. That's the little hashtag, rise up in Atlanta. Again, over 300 yards, beating the Commies. I think we both had the Commies winning, if I recall. Hey, credit where credit is due. Bouncing back from probably the worst performance we've ever seen from just a team, quarterback, whatever, and the Falcons last week getting blown up by the Panthers. And then you put up 34. So good stuff, Michael Penix. Shout out Michael Penix.
Yeah, good stuff for him. He's up and down, but second year, so we'll see how he grows. I had the stud, Amarian Hampton, 12 for 120 in the touchdown, but they lost that game. He had a 54-yard touchdown run, but I actually have a better stud than that, so I'm going to drop Hampton down on my list. I'm going to go with the highest QBR of the week. So I know you're not going to know who this is because you hate the QBR, but can you take a shot at who had the top QBR this week? It was in the 90s.
Should have been Rodgers, but it wasn't. So
it wasn't Rodgers. I didn't even know where he was. I didn't see him up there again.
Yeah, it's because you know what? You know who wishes had a bad QBR? I saw this comment at QBR. Rodgers had a terrible week. The Vikings wish he had a terrible week, but no, he did not.
No, but
I don't know. I couldn't tell you who would be the best QBR.
This quarterback didn't do too much, but except win and destroy their opponents. He went 14 for 17, 203 yards, and 2 touchdown passes.
Interesting.
As they won 42-13. Does that tell you who it is?
I forgot
already. Early in the morning.
Oh, Drake May.
Drake May, the highest QBR this week. He only threw 3 incompletions. Didn't have to do too much, but that's because, man, oh man, the Panthers are back down to the bottom. The random win last week with the Falcons, and now they're just falling back to the bottom. But yeah, so stud is Drake May. Highest QBR, didn't see that one coming. It was a 94.6. Amazing stuff.
Man, it's because QBR is a made-up stat. But
it's not made up. It's a made-up stat by ESPN.
Let's see. Who are my favorite players? Okay, so we're going to give him a little bit of boost here. Who do I not like?
That's what ESPN does. Why are they boosting Drake May? Nobody cares about Drake May.
I don't know. Ask the guy that just put on who made the stats at QBR. Who did the stats yesterday? Can you find them for me? Okay, because I mean you can't. It's just some guy or some girl that's just back there. You know what? I like this guy.
Maybe
so
we'll
go ahead and go. 17 passes warrants the best performance of the week.
It's the ESPN committee. That's who's doing it.
Ridiculous.
ESPN committee. All right, duds of the week. You start us off.
I wish I could read my handwriting. Let's see here. Give me a sec. Well, I can give you one of them. I understand we don't really expect a lot from these guys, but they are professionals, believe it or not. Spencer Rattler, only 126 yards in a full NFL game, and a game that you're probably been passing the whole time.
In a full NFL
touchdown.
Game.
I mean, that is just so bad. I think his yards per attempt was like 4, and that's he's not a running back, folks. He's a quarterback. So you just I don't know. Again, like I said, what are we doing? You just put in another guy. Rattler is just not the guy. I don't know how much more proof you need in New Orleans. But get him out of there. He's just not good. He's not an NFL starter. I mean, he might be a plug and play. He's had some moments, but for the most part, those moments have been bad. So get him out of there. Try your second round quarterback because I don't know. I don't know what else you really want to see out of Spencer Rattler. He's just not good.
It's coming very, very soon. But I'll go to my dud of the week, and I know you know who it is. It was bad. It was awful. Pretty much he cost the Colts the game. Not once, but twice he cost the Colts the game. Twice in the same game. A.D. Mitchell, Adonai Mitchell, had a touchdown. Daniel Jones throws this beautiful pass down the sideline, hits Mitchell in stride. He just catches it casually right by two Rams. And then the two Rams just totally miss him, and he works down the sideline, stays in bounds, goes to the end zone, and then goes to just put the ball into one hand and loses it at the goal line out of the back of the end zone for a touchback for the Rams, and they take over. So instead of the Colts pulling away and going up, I believe it was 2 scores, and dominating, and the game was over, and the Rams were done, it stays, oh no, they would have took the lead. It would have been 17-13, my bad. What was it? It was... They were going to go up by 4, I believe. But it was 13-10. It would have been 17-13. They were going to go and take the lead, and they get no points, and they stay down. That was ridiculous. That was a huge, huge miscue. So that changed the game, and the Colts still came back to take the lead. And it just was about to pull away the end of the game in the fourth quarter. Jonathan Taylor, this huge run. It was like Madden style, breaking tackles. Then a spin maneuver on a guy, breaking a tackle, bouncing off of him, runs all the way for a touchdown. But Adonai Mitchell grabs the back of the guy's neck and brings him down, and they get a 10-yard holding penalty, and there goes that. So that's when they're about to go up 2 scores, and Mitchell blows the game with this fluke. Well, not fluke holding call. It was holding, but like Mitchell single-handedly blew the game of the Colts twice, and the biggest dud of the week, because the Colts deserved that win. And Mitchell, if they had Pierce out there, who's out on a concussion, that is a game changer, and the Colts win that game, and they win it easily, even though Puka dominated the Colts and Stafford played well. The Colts pull away and win. So, dud. A.D. Mitchell blows
Very
the game.
sorry.
So upset.
I'm just so heartbroken for you. I just...
You're a hater. I don't want to hear it. You're a hater.
So
I don't want to hear it.
disappointing. Okay, so the other dud is a guy, again, that I feel like doesn't really get a lot of criticism, or at least not enough, because
Aaron Rodgers.
This can't happen. This can't happen. Oh, yeah, that guy gets a lot of stuff. Okay.
He doesn't get enough criticism.
So, Justin Herbert, at what point do we have to raise just some questions here? I mean, barely over 50% completion, 5 yards an attempt, which is good for running back. But again, we're not talking about running the ball. We're talking about passing. So, yeah, again, just barely above 50% completion. Oh, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I mean, the Giants, I thought, would be, again, a competitive team. But I don't know. They kind of disappointed me. Now, again, I think...
I almost covered this game. What happened? Did you watch this one?
I watched very little at the beginning. I was covering a baseball game at 2 o'clock in that middle part of the window, and it was a great stream for me. But, yeah, no, I watched a little bit of it, and they just don't look good. Herbert, I don't know. Again, I just feel like we got to hold quarterbacks the same. Everyone's like, oh, if the defense held Trevor Lawrence in that playoff game a few years ago, well, again, that doesn't mean you have to stop scoring, buddy. That's just you got to keep going. And then, of course, last year in the playoffs, 4 interceptions against the Texans. And again, he just has these studs, and I don't think they played good last week against the Broncos. I mean, he was just inaccurate as can be, and that clearly carried over against the Giants. No, but he was still missing throws that were just wildly inaccurate. I mean, I don't know. I don't think seeing a certain jersey when you have a clean pocket is going to dictate, oh, I'm going to oversail this guy by 10 yards. He just couldn't make the throws. So that to me is a concern. I don't think I could ever have. I mean, he has the talent. That doesn't mean anything, though. Cam Newton had the talent. That doesn't mean anything, though. I mean, he had that one good year, but that's pretty much it.
MVP, Super Bowl loser.
So yeah, I mean, it's just at some point you got to put it together, and you can't have performances like that, especially since the other quarterback is making his first NFL start. You got showed up by a rookie in his first NFL start who was having some hamstring problems.
The Giants defense.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, I mean, you walk off the field a loser. We remember the wins and losses. Herbert, to me, you got to get it together. Yeah, I mean, again, that's 2 performances I watched back-to-back weeks that just were not that impressive.
I get the last week against the Broncos. I like the Broncos defense. He didn't play well against that, and they got the win. But against that Giants defense, against that Giants team, how do you not win that game? Herbert's so good. He should have came back to beat them. How does he not have the one drive at the end to beat the Giants? I don't know. He didn't come through. Awful game for Herbert, I agree. But Jackson Dart, his first game, 13 for 20, 111 yards, one touchdown passing, one touchdown running. Not the greatest. I mean, he got the win, so good for him. But that's a disappointing stat for Dart, in my opinion, and Herbert losing to him. That's shocking. I can't believe it. I didn't think the Giants had a chance. No chance. And it took a huge dud of Herbert, and Jackson Dart did just enough. But it was nice to see him running the ball because he was a beast on that touchdown run. He looked determined to get that. He was like, I will not be denied. And he gets on in. So good job for Dart. But Herbert is a dud. My dud is Geno Smith. Holy crap. 14 for 21, 117 yards passing. Hampton ran for more yards than Geno passed at a 128. But 117 yards passing, 2 touchdown passes, and another 3 interceptions. He's collecting interceptions like I collect football cards. It's ridiculous. I don't know why you want to collect all these interceptions. He's leading the league. He's just like, you want it? Interception. Bam, you get it. So the 35-year-old Geno Smith throwing interceptions for the Raiders. It's bad. It's awful. Pete Carroll's got to be flipping out and lose his mind. But huge dud of the week. Geno
It's Kenny
Smith.
Pickett time in Las Vegas. Kenny Pickett. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Let's see some Kenny.
Geno sucks, but we'll get to that a little bit in a little while. Actually, in a few minutes, actually. But we're going to have to contenders and pretenders. I got a few quick ones to throw at us before we go and dive into the teams. We've got a little buy-sell as well. But contenders or pretenders? We'll start with your Steelers. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe they are. Again, this is I think I can go either way. But I want to go contenders. I still have faith in them, despite how they just. Okay, so you covered the game. You saw the 24-6 lead.
We covered the game.
I have no issue with the 4th down at the goal line. I had a problem with the run call. I thought that was dumb, but again, they took care of business. They got the win. I don't think many people expected them to get the win, especially coming off a horrible win against the Patriots. Again, 5 turnovers, you barely win, and then the Vikings blowing out the Bengals. But they just find a way to win. This is kind of how they are. They always seem to. I mean, when I think of contenders, by the way, I'm thinking of getting into the playoffs, and that's kind of what I'm really saying to you. I don't know about Super Bowl. I would love to see it, but we still have a lot of work to do. But for the most part, again, they're getting wins. They beat the Vikings. I don't know. I feel a lot better about it. I just wish it wasn't coming down to like, hey, we got to make a play at the end for defense. But they get wins when they need to. And for the most part, I buy them. So, yeah, I think they're a good 10-11 win team. Contender.
Man, above 500 contender for the Steelers. The only thing that makes me think that they could be a contender is that the Ravens are so bad at 1-3, the Browns are so bad, and the Bengals are going to be bad without Burrow. I think it's contender by default almost. I'm not impressed by the Steelers. They dominated the Vikings offensive line. Their defense line looked amazing, getting a lot of pressure. But I just think it's the Vikings being overrated and looking bad, and the Steelers just beat up on them because they're a mid team and they do things that they need to do. And Rodgers, Mr. Low QBR, he doesn't throw the ball down the field. I'm worried about that, and he throws a lot of short, quick stuff. And when he gets pressure, he panics and throws into the ground, and his throws are off the mark. So that's what I'm seeing with Rodgers. The Steelers, once again, they'll be mid because the Tomlin gets them to that 500 level every year. But that might be enough to win that division with the way things are going. So the Steelers are the best of the bunch, but they're contender by default. That's my take on that.
Okay. Well,
All right,
hey, I disagree. I think Rodgers is great. He's facilitating the ball. Again, he doesn't really have time. He had more time this week than he had in previous weeks, but I don't know. I still like Rodgers. Again, the QBR is a joke. It really is. The PFF joke. So no, as far as
data's
playing
not
well,
a joke.
No, it is. Trust me, the data is biased.
I don't trust you. I believe the data. Anyway, Colts.
Go ahead.
Contenders or pretenders? What do you think?
Let's see. They've beaten the Dolphins. They beat the Broncos fluke penalty, and they beat the Titans. Yeah, those three are pretty good teams. So yeah, definitely pretenders. When they play a real contender, guess what? They lose. Oh, that's a shocker. Oh, what a shock in the world. Give me a pretender for the Colts. You don't even know how to put 11 men on the field. You think that's supposed to make me pick contender? I mean, you gotta put 11 players on the field at least. That's something that should be done at the NFL level. So no, I'm sorry. I just can't put you guys in contender. It's a pretender. I think what Jones had, did he have 2 picks? I think I can't recall.
2 interceptions.
I just, again, Jonathan Taylor, he's the Colts, so it's the Indianapolis Jonathan Taylors. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I can't have any faith in the Colts. They play a real team, they lose. There you go.
So you think the Jaguars are better?
Pretender.
The Jaguars?
Yes, I do. I
wish you could hear yourself sometimes.
I hear myself loud and clear. It's that going.
Oh my God! I watched that game. The Colts had that game won, and they were going to go up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and a fluke fumble, and the holding. It's just they played the Rams well. They dominated. They could have easily won that game, but Stafford and the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC. And the Colts hang with them. They're going to hang with all the top teams all year long, and they're going to crush the mid to bottom teams. That's what's going to happen. They're going to crush all the mid to bottom teams, and they're going to be in it every single game with the better teams like the Rams and the Broncos. And they beat the Broncos, and they had the Rams. They had them. But anyway, they're contenders. Jaguars are pretenders. They're winning, but they don't look good at all. So I don't just look at the wins and losses. We look at how they do in those games. And the Colts are looking great. It's a disappointing loss, but the Jaguars, come on. They play the Niners. Niners also pretenders, but we'll get to that. I only got one more. So that's my take. You know it. If you watch those games of the Colts, they look great.
I just think it's interesting. He's called the Broncos a good team. That's interesting. They're 1-2, and they're going to beat up a Burrowless. So the Broncos are good because they beat the Titans. Because the Colts beat the Titans. That's right. No, I'm sorry. But the Broncos going to beat a Burrowless Bengals team, and that'll make them 2-2. But they're going to be good because of that. Interesting. Okay.
So are the Chiefs good? The Chiefs are 2-2. Are they good?
The Chiefs are. They beat the Ravens. Are the Colts going to beat the Ravens?
Are 1-3.
Can the Colts beat the Ravens? If you're being honest with yourself, the 3-1 Colts taking on the 1-3 Ravens. We all know who we're picking in that game. There's no way.
Hands down.
You're picking the Colts.
Hands down.
You're lying. You're lying in front of these people. How dare you lie in front of America?
No way.
You cannot lie to America like that. That is
You
can't. You cannot lie to yourself.
You
would pick the Ravens.
Ready?
You know you would trust Lamar. You know you would trust Derrick Henry.
Nope.
You know you would trust those guys. You can't trust Daniel Jones against Lamar Jackson.
Mahomes has never beaten the Colts in his career. So they can take down Patty. They'll take down Lamar. Colts
in the playoffs, he
has.
The
Ravens on the top team. The Colts beat all the mid to bottom teams. They'll destroy the Ravens. The Ravens don't have a defense. It's not about Lamar. They don't have a defense. The Rams have a defense.
Man.
And Daniel Jones still did all right, but he did throw 2 terrible interceptions. Lamar and the Ravens have no defense, and it's awful. It's awful. All right, let's hop to the Packers. Contenders, pretenders.
Ooh. I'm gonna go contender still, but it's definitely I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. The panic button is on the table. I'm not gonna press it yet, but my hand is right over it.
Panic.
You can't lose to the Browns and then come back and then tie the Cowboys in a shootout.
They should have lost. Too.
I mean, unbelievable. That defense. What happened? It was such a great defense.
40-40.
But no, I still have faith in them. I still think they can get it together. I think they're closer to what we saw in the first 2 weeks than the last 2 weeks. But man, I'm definitely I took them off my top 5 list. I mean, I've loved the Packers, been loving on them since the offseason. But you can't do that. You can't get in a shootout with Dak Prescott. Usually Dak does all those 40-point stuff after, the other teams put up 45, 50. That was concerning. And again, all this stuff about Micah Parsons was such a difference maker. Well, there he is, allowing 40 points. Dak Prescott. So, but yeah, I still have faith in him. But man, I am worried. I am worried about it. So, but contender though, I'm pressing the contender button. The panic button, not yet, but it's on the table.
Panic, panic, panic. Hit that panic button. They got up 40 points to Dak Prescott, made him look really good, and they didn't even have CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys did not have CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens was gobbling up, and Javonte Williams running all over him. Javonte Williams, the ex-Bronco, that couldn't do anything. Like, this is so weird. It's starting to really see that those first games of the Packers were the crazy ones. That's not the Packer team. It seems like this is the Packers team. Defense isn't that good. The Rams were rusty. They weren't ready. And the Packers, they're 2-1-1. But man, they don't look good at all. Very disappointing. They're pretenders. They're going to be a wild card team and lose. They're not going to win a playoff game. They're going to lose the first round, and they're going to be out and they're going to be done as we go forward. They don't have the wide receivers. Tucker Kraft's their best guy. It's just 40 points to the Cowboys. You can't do that. You can't do it. It's just horrible.
Little fun fact. So the Packers apparently they're 2-0 when I cover them, and they're 0-1-1 when I don't. So maybe I just need to cover Packers games.
I'm not going to get into that because that is a useless stat. That's superstition, not data.
That's more accurate than QBR.
QBR is data, not superstition.
If I covered the game, they would have felt my presence.
That's just a random stat that is amazing.
There you go. Hey, I don't know. I'm just telling you. It's a good stat.
So maybe you better cover more of the Packers games and then keep watching them losing and go to the wild card spots. Anyway, next up, buy, sell. I'll start this off. How about Brock Purdy coming back, not going so well, doesn't do well, and they lose against the Jaguars? Do you think that the Niners bench Purdy and go with Mac Jones?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think they do, but I'll tell you what. I didn't really think of that. That's not bad. I'm going to still sell that though. I still think they go with Purdy. He's still their guy. They're paying him all that money. I think that's another reason why they wouldn't do that. But Purdy. I mean, I saw the end of that game. I think the Jaguars adjustments to field goal. The Niners are about to start driving, and then he fumbles, and it's like, what in the world? And then the Jaguars are able to run out the clock. I still think the Niners are still solid. I still think Purdy is still decent. I never really considered him good to great. I think he can. Again, he's a guy that just seems to, like, in the big moments, he just always seems to be on the opposite side of the good side, the good moment. So, but no, I still think Purdy is still a guy. But it's a good question. I like that one.
I got Purdy being the guy. I'm gonna sell that. Purdy's a glorified Jimmy Garoppolo, but Garoppolo. What am I thinking of, that stupid actress from back in the day? Anyway, Jimmy G we'll go with. But yeah, he's going to be the guy. He's getting all that money. They're going to stick with him. He's better than Mac Jones. The Niners going to go with him. They're going to be mid and maybe make a wild card because I'm falling down the Cardinals, but Purdy keeps his job.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so my overreaction thing. Okay, so obviously it was a big game that happened in Kansas City. Not necessarily the result that, most of us wanted, as far as one, we kind of pulling for the Ravens a little bit. Me, not necessarily because they're in the division, but, I still want to see the Chiefs go down. And it was a blowout. And then Lamar, the Ravens, pretty much the entire Ravens team gets injured. Lamar gets injured. I don't know if it was a phantom injury or not, but he was pulled late in that one. Yeah. So Lamar Jackson will never beat Patrick Mahomes again. Overreaction or not?
Well, I would say that's an overreaction because they're going to be playing for years. But yeah, maybe in the playoffs he never beats them. But I think he'll get, because what do we got? Like another 10 years of these guys, perhaps another 8 to 10 years. He's got to get a win some way, somehow against Patty Mahomes. But this was awful, so I'm selling that. He'll find a way to win, but not in important games or a game where it's going to knock him to 1-3, and definitely not in the playoffs. I'm not seeing it. Lamar is scaring me, and not in a dangerous way, in a terrible way. So Patty Mahomes, he comes through in the clutch, and he did it again. So, but I'm selling that he'll find a way to win, even though it's not pretty.
I'll be honest. I don't know if it ever happens. It's just again another. It's like with Purdy. Jackson just cannot win the games. He will have I don't know. It's like it's not he can't win the games he's not supposed to. I mean, again, the Ravens were actually favored in this game, but again, it was a big game. It just seems like he always loses. It just seems like when it comes down to can you beat Mahomes? Can you beat Allen? And for a while there, could you beat the Steelers? Could you beat that main rival? The answer was no. He did eventually overcome the Steelers the last two games last year in the regular season and the playoffs. But still, same old story in the playoffs. Loser, loser, loser. At some point, you gotta win this game. And again, he came out flat, and you can't do that. So I don't think it happens. It's something mental at this point. I mean, he's been in the league since 2018. So that's plenty. 7-8 years now. I mean that's going to take a toll. So I think it's all mental at this point. I don't think he can get it done. I don't.
All right, you hear it there from the delay. Lamar Jackson's not going to be Patty Mahomes ever again.
Ever again.
All right, going to the next one. I like this one. Buy, sell. The Raiders draft a new quarterback in the first 2 rounds next year. They're done with Geno.
I buy that. Yeah, no. Well, it's a loaded quarterback class. Well, at least on name, on paper. I personally don't really like many of them. But yeah, Geno's just not good. He's been. Does he lead the league in interceptions? I actually didn't look that up. I should have.
He did last week, and he threw 3 this week. So
yeah, I feel like he does. I mean, it's just not looking good. And again, they're on a 3-game losing streak. I don't even know. I still feel like he does. By the way, he has 7, one ahead of Flacco. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, again, 117 yards on like 20 something attempts. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, you're just Ashton Jennings the entire offense, and that's only when he gets space. I mean, and that's rare. So it's just not working out. Pete Carroll.
He could have got one of our studs this week with 3 touchdowns, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Raiders looking a new direction. Of course, Brady's there, obviously making decisions. I don't feel like I don't feel like he would have thought highly of Geno bringing him in there. I don't know. Maybe he did sign off on it, but what a whiff that would be if Brady did sign off on that. So no, I buy that. Yeah, the Raiders looking for a new quarterback next year. Why not play Kenny Pickett though, my guy? Give him a shot. He was just bullied all the time. Just give him a shot. I mean, he's not going to throw 3 picks a game. He does not. He never did that. I don't think at any point. No, he did it once against the Dolphins a few years ago. But this is once.
He doesn't get a chance to throw those 3 interceptions a game with all his starts. He doesn't get the time. No, he doesn't get the starts. They're like, we're not starting him. Otherwise, he's going to throw 3 or 4 interceptions a game. All right, yes, I said that the Raiders get a new quarterback. It's time now. They just drafted Gentry. They got the running back. They got the tight end. They need the quarterback. It would have been nice if they would have got the quarterback 2 years ago, but they got Geno instead of getting a young quarterback. But they better start now while they got the youth on offense. So the Raiders drafted a new quarterback in the first 2 rounds, probably the first, but definitely by the 2nd round. Last one for me, buy, sell, the Chiefs getting the number 1 seed in AFC.
Sell. That's a sell for me. The Bills are just too good. They have the 2 games on them right now, and they play each other later. And I think that's also in Buffalo. And I believe Buffalo wins that one. So now Buffalo to me is the clear number 1 seed. I don't think there's going to be a collapse of any sort happening there with Buffalo. They look good. And Kansas City again, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they were going to win this game. They seem to be trending up. I think they have a date with the Lions, if I recall.
They're going to tango?
Kansas City. Well, that's coming up. They're at Jacksonville on Monday night next week. But yeah, no, I think they will fall to the Lions. And I just don't see Buffalo relinquishing that number 1 spot at all to anybody in AFC. I mean, again, the Ravens, they're 1-3. They already have the tie. Well, they have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. The South, I don't know. I don't really buy many people in the South. You might disagree. And then, of course, the AFC West, the Chargers losing the Giants. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. I got the I got the Bills going number one, number one seed.
The Bills, number one. I have them locked in. You asked me that a couple weeks ago. I said Bills lock it in, number one seed. The Chiefs are not getting there. I think this is more about the Ravens being bad than the Chiefs being so good. The Chiefs make the playoffs. Like I said, they're the 6th or 7th seed at the moment. Ravens crumbling hard, but it's good to see the Chiefs back and winning. It's going to give people more hope. We'll have Patty in the playoffs, just not the number one seed. I still have the Chargers winning the division, and that was a fluke against the Giants because the NFL is upside down. The NFL this week and last week, they're off the wall. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's this is what makes it so fun because you don't know what's going to happen. The teams are so good. You think they're going to win. I had an awful week last week going 8-8 on my picks. I'm 6-7 this week because of the
You're 6-7. Oh man, am I taking the lead? Oh, man, the doctor is so right.
Because the data is not holding. This random fluke crap is happening.
Oh, the data is not holding. The data.
I started
maybe the data is wrong.
I started strong with the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals, with the Seahawks winning that 23-20, and the Cardinals falling away from my wild card. So I'm starting to believe a little bit more into the Seahawks and way less into the Cardinals. But man, this NFL season is so fun. It's crazy. It's hard to predict. Things are just out of hand. And this is why you stay away from betting, because the locks of the week are not locks. The Chargers even lose to the Giants. It's just the Cowboys tie the Packers. This world's upside down. You got to have fun with it. But I got the Seahawks beating the Cardinals, and they did it. So the Seahawks going up. They made your top 5. And the Cardinals falling down with Kyler Murray. What's your take on that Thursday night game?
Well, yeah, I had Arizona winning. I honestly, as soon as the game started, I'm like, I think I picked with my heart rather than my brain here, because I really want Arizona to get that. So, I've been saying it for the last 2 years, so this year and last year, that hey, Arizona is going to be that team to watch out for, and I don't know what in the world I was thinking, because Kyler Murray looks bad. It's time to move. Honestly, if they don't get to the playoffs this year, if they don't get to the playoffs this year, I don't know what else they can expect with Murray. I mean, Murray. Honestly, I have some Cardinals fans that have tuned in to my streams because they're Diamondback fans, and they're saying Murray's like a bottom 5 quarterback. And I really thought about is he really a bottom 5? But to be honest with you, I can see at least From a production standpoint, I would pick other guys. And, of course, you got to include the rookies. Well, you got to give him a few years. And, yeah, Murray, to me, bottom 5, bottom 10 quarterback. Kyler just can't get it done. It just, again, another guy that just seems to always fall in that, hey, we're losing all the time moment. You just can never win when it matters. And, again, they were at home. They were hosting Seattle. And they just blew it. They looked bad. They started getting things together later, but for the most part, it was just not good. So, yeah, I went 9-4 this week, so I'm 42-19. Listen to the doc. This guy knows what he's talking about. So good, so good. But yeah, Seattle, I wasn't wrong. I was wrong on this one. So don't listen to me when it comes to Cardinals. I might be picking with my heart and not the mind.
Well, your main wins are picking the Steelers to win, so that's just crazy talk, and that's just fluky. But anyway. The Steelers beat the Vikings 24-21 in a close one, even though from watching that game, the Steelers dominated. It shouldn't have been that close. But yeah, disappointed with the banged-up offensive line from the Vikings. The Steelers won that game in the trenches, and the Steelers hold on to win to go 3-1. I'm starting to think the Vikings are more of a fluke. Beginning of the year, I didn't have them high on my list anyway. What? What are you laughing at?
Starting to think it's a fluke because the Steelers beat the Vikings. Oh, just trade in the black and yellow for the white and blue, and you'll be saying, you know what, that was a resilient win. They were up when they were starting to choke there, but they held on to win. Let me tell you, Daniel Jones making the short little throws, facilitating real quickly. The O-line's bad. He was spiking the dirt because, the defenders were around him. It's just good stuff by Daniel Jones. I mean, it just really was.
No, the defense from the Steelers dominated the offensive line. Wentz couldn't pass. They didn't look good, so they don't have a quarterback, the Vikings. Wentz is okay at best. They don't have McCarthy's not going to come in and save the day. So they have no quarterback. They have no offensive line. They're not going to be able to pass. They have no time. And the defense didn't look good like they did last week. It looked mid. Rodgers threw a lot of short stuff. And the Vikings, if outside of Justin Jefferson, I don't know what they have. So that's why I didn't have them as a playoff team at the beginning of the year. And that shows why. No offensive line, no quarterback. They're not going to win.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I agree. I didn't have the Vikings high either. I don't know. I thought Wentz was all right until, like, the second. Well, I mean, ironically, the second half is when they started scoring points. But I don't know. I felt like he had a much better first half, ironically. But yeah, no, I had the Steelers winning that one. Next game on the docket, Cleveland at Detroit. I had Detroit blowing out Cleveland. Not really much else to really talk about here, unless you want to add anything.
I just want to know when we're going to see Dylan Gabriel take on over. You can't keep throwing out old man Flacco out there. It's time. They got a young team. You might as well see what you have with Gabriel and Judkins and turn this from an old Browns team into a young Browns team and see what you have with Dylan Gabriel. And if he craps out, then give a few games to Shador at the end of the year. So Flacco is just a waste out there, bottom of the league quarterback. So that's what I want to see with the Browns.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to see Gabriel.
Give Gabriel the starts, get in practice, give him the reps, and see what happens next week.
All right, the upset of the week, Chargers at the Giants. The Giants winning 21-18. Of course, we all probably picked the Chargers. Again, just a terrible performance. I talked about Herbert earlier, just a flat-out dud. Again, back-to-back, to me, not great performances. But he got the win last week, didn't get the win this week. So, yeah, not looking good. Not looking good.
We talked about this. Herbert, he's going to be a top-notch quarterback. He's really good. It was an off game. Shockingly, the Giants stuffed them.
I'm not saying he's going to be good.
Will bounce back. They will bounce back. They're the best team in that division. You have to agree with that, but they're close. The Chiefs and the Broncos are right there with them. But I believe in the coaching of Harbaugh and Herbert. But and the Giants.
Yeah, I like Harbaugh.
Hey, good win. Good win.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, the Washington Redskins / Commies versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons putting up 34 after putting up nothing against the Panthers. Just talk about the NFL.
This is the NFL world.
I picked Washington to win, so I was wrong on this one. I was wrong, of course, on the Giants Chargers. So as of now, I got 3 wrong here. But yeah, no, I was shocked. Penix again, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was one of my studs. Good stuff by Penix. And again, also Bijan Robinson's a beast as well.
He is. It's all Robinson for the Falcons. But this is what's going on in the NFL. Like, the Commanders are good and they're above average, I would say. There should be a playoff team. The Falcons are mid at best. They go from doing nothing to crushing it, and this is the league with the average teams to lower end teams. You don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to play well? Are they going to give a stinker? Are they going to play well, or are they going to throw 25 interceptions? Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So unless you're a top team doing top team things, Colts and above, but you don't know if you're going to do well or not, and that's what the NFL looks like outside the top 5-6 teams. You don't know what you're going to get, and the Falcons are showing it.
I don't know about the Colts part. Okay, so the Panthers heading to New England to get blown out again after shutting out the Falcons 30-0. They lay an egg against the Patriots, 42-13. I had the Patriots winning this one, and apparently you only need to throw the ball 17 times to get the best QBR. Ridiculous, but yeah, no. Patriots look good. Again, that's more of the team that I thought. Again, I didn't have them being great or anything, but I thought they'd be contending at least for a playoff spot. And they're 2-2 so far, I believe. So that's still in play.
What do you think? The Patriots might be able to get a playoff spot with the way they're playing.
Yeah, I think it's still. I think they're a year away. They just don't have any weapons. That's the problem with the Patriots on the offense. They have some running backs that are all right, but like as far as receivers, they don't have anybody. I mean, the tight end Hunter Henry's good. He's been good for a while, but like, who are they throwing the ball to? And I think that's the problem with the Patriots. They don't have any outside, receiver weapons. So that's the problem with them. But I think they're all right. I think they're a year away after they get some receivers.
Have a chance to take one of those wild card spots. Maybe they take the Ravens spot. by the end of the year. Who knows?
Okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
All right, Philly at Tampa Bay, 3-0 versus 3-0. I had the Eagles winning. They held on, 31-25. That's just seems to be what the Eagles do. They win close ones. That's what is. And it wasn't close for the most part. Tampa Bay made it close at the end.
No, they
but
dominated the Bucs. Baker Mayfield was awful. He tried to get a little magic in the fourth quarter, but he was the second worst QBR behind Flacco, as I was saying before. But Baker, not good. That secondary of the Eagles starting to play a lot better. They were a little shaky the first couple games, but this team is so well-rounded. They blocked a punt for a touchdown, the Eagles. They find ways to score. They do all phases of the game. Everything. They're blocking kicks, blocking field goals, touchdowns from running backs. It doesn't matter. The Eagles win. This is such a good team. I had them number one at the beginning of the year, and you watch them and they win the close games. That's 4 games they won by 1 score already in the first 4. And the Bucs, they won 3 games by 1 score. Then they lose to the Eagles because they out 1-scored them. So the Eagles are just the team. I would love to see this matchup in the playoffs. Hopefully we get that, and we probably will. And I say the Bucs take them because they're going to be fully healthy and shock the Eagles in the playoffs. But we'll get to that later on.
All right, Tennessee at Houston, battle of the 0-3s, from 3-0s to 0-3s. The Texans. I had the Texans winning. They blew them out 26-0. Again, the Titans, they're just bad. They are just bad.
They're the worst. Titans are the worst. Cam Ward sucks. 10 for 26. That's all I got to say. 38%. Way worse than Anthony Richardson. He's got to turn things around. I don't know what he has to do, but it is. I mean, I know he doesn't have any wide receivers, but oof, you can't get shut out by another 0-3 team. 26.
You can't. You can't. Again, I mean, Cam Ward to me is better than Anthony Richardson for sure.
Not right now. Not right now.
But yeah, it's just he doesn't have anybody. He just doesn't have. There's not a good team. All right, next up, Saints and the Bills. Bills winning 31-19 over Saints. Again, another Titans. Saints, by the way, both could go 0-17. I think that's a real possibility. The Bills, though, yeah, they look again good. It was a closer game than I think we thought, but yeah, the Bills again, another team that's just a team that's probably going to lock down the number 1 seed and just wreak havoc the rest of the year.
I'm guessing the Bills just took it easy on the Saints and didn't go all out. They won by 12. They still won by 12, but I feel like they were on cruise control or something because that is not the normal Bills. But hey, they did what they did and crushed them, so they got the win. Moving on.
All right, we got the Colts at the Rams. We both got this right, so I feel like you should be pretty happy. I don't know. You don't seem to be pretty happy about getting this one right. I don't know why. But yeah, the Rams winning 27-20. The Rams looking really good, entering that top 5 very soon, potentially for me. The Colts, of course, again, what a disaster, beating themselves. And if they beat themselves, then everyone else can beat them for sure. 27-20.
Nope. The Rams are the number 5 team in the NFL. The Colts are number 6. Wow, these teams are good. They're going to be a force in the playoffs. They're going to be a force all year long. If you look at what the Rams did to the Eagles, they should have ran away with it. I don't know what happened in the second half, but the tides turned and the Eagles beat them last week, and then it turned back for the Rams to get the win, 27-20. They needed a lot of help to win that game, and they got it. But I'm impressed with both teams. I think they're both going to dominate the AFC and the NFC, and watch out for these teams. They are the best in the league. Even though Daniel Jones did throw 2 interceptions, one at the beginning of the game, he had plenty of time in the pocket, steps up and throws a deep ball, and it was underthrown and intercepted. The safety came over on the right side of the field and picked it off. In the fourth quarter, after the Colts, the flukeness happened, the 10 men on the field, the cornerback trips, that 88-yard touchdown, the 2-2. Then Daniel Jones has to come back to try to tie the game, and he has plenty of time. He throws it deep again, underthrown. The safety comes over and intercepts it. So that deep ball is what concerns me for Daniel Jones. But he doesn't need to do it all the time. This is against one of the better defenses, one of the better teams in the league. Daniel Jones is still going to tear it up. These Colts are still going to be great. They still are great.
Okay. All right, moving on. Ravens at The Chiefs. Again, I had the Chiefs. No,
Ravens?
no. I skipped a game. I'm sorry. Jaguars at the
You were too busy
Niners.
laughing at my Colts and
Sorry,
your
I was
nonsense.
playing the violin. I picked the Niners to win. The Jaguars ended up pulling it out. Jaguars 3-1. That's a solid. That's probably the best 3-1 AFC South team for sure. But yeah, no, the
Ha!
Jaguars looking good.
The
Jaguars
Jaguars.
looking good. A quality win.
They've never looked good.
Actually, being a team that has a winning record, I mean, that's pretty good. I can't think of another AFC South 3-1 team that's done that. So yeah, no, give me the Jaguars. They look good again. They are looking good. I think they win that division. Niners, of course, with Purdy. I don't know. Purdy just the first game back. Well, hopefully that's the case for the Niners, but that was not a good performance.
I got both these teams being so overrated. The Rams won and it's good the Jaguars won because the Niners falling out of the top spot. The Rams are the better team by far over the Niners. By far, it's not close. They have the same record, but by far the Rams are the way better team than your San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback to wide receivers to the overall team, the Rams crush them, no big deal. And AFC said that the Jaguars, come on. They do not look good in their wins. The only guy that looks good is ETN, which is shocking. So when does a running back finally turn good? This is so weird. I don't know if that holds. I got to go check out this Jaguars offensive line. Maybe it's just giving Trevor Lawrence a ton of time to pass, and the run blocking is amazing. But I do not see the Jaguars holding. Let's see them go to the Colts, and the Colts smash them. Colts win by 2 scores over the Jaguars.
Sure, whatever there. Okay, so
We're in
the
overtime.
Ravens playing the Chiefs again. I had the Chiefs winning, just a blowout again. The Ravens, I don't think will ever win a big game again. It doesn't seem like they will. Again, a lot of injuries for the Ravens, but I don't know. It just seems to be the same old story. They always seem to be losing against the Bills and the Chiefs when it matters.
Yep. This was domination. This is shocking. The Ravens crumbled to 1-3. They might miss the playoffs. I'm out on the Ravens. Henry fumbled the ball. I don't know if he fumbled this week. He probably did, but I didn't hear about it. Lamar Jackson looking bad. Moving on.
Bears at the Raiders. I got this one right. The Raiders are bad. Raiders are bad. Oh yeah, luck out of 2 bad teams, the Bears, Raiders. Oh yeah, for sure.
25-24. The Raiders had them.
The Bears were the away team. I mean, that tells me the Bears are better. But yeah, it's not like I'm a Bears guy. But again, I think that was clear and obvious because the Raiders are bad, and Gino throwing 3 picks doesn't help. So, but yeah, no, give me the Bears again. They're looking a little bit better than I expected. But again, it's still already 2-2. I don't know. They probably get blown out next week.
Where are you, Gino?
Who do they play?
I'm right here, Gino. Oh my God, he's so bad. He's so terrible. Caleb Williams playing better than Geno Smith, getting the win 25-24. I believed in Gino. Ha! What an idiot. Moving on.
Sorry about that. All right, and then the final game of the day was Packers and the Cowboys. None of us got this right because it's a tie, so it won't count. But yeah, very disappointing by the Packers. Very disappointing. Again, the team that's supposed to have really good defense. The Cowboys aren't good, so don't think if you're a Cowboys fan, tune in. Don't think you're automatically like a really good team. It's not the case. But yeah, that was very concerning though. If you're a Packers fan, and I'm a Packers supporter because I have them going to the Super Bowl, but right now not looking too hot.
Super Bowl, no way. 40-40 the Cowboys. That first half was boring. That was lame. And then the second half was fantastic and awesome. That was glorious second half to watch that. And they were just scoring back and forth. And what a game! What an ending you want to see. Whether you like the Packers or the Cowboys, that was awesome. That was great. That's what you want to see in a football game. Just crazy it had to end in a tie. That sucks. We just didn't get that extra satisfaction either way or disappointment. So everybody was just disappointed. But you should be really disappointed with your Packers tying the Cowboys. Craziness. Because the Cowboys are going nowhere fast. And the Packers are supposed to be this great Super Bowl team. And I got them locked in as a wild card. Probably the number 5 seed behind the Lions. That's our take. We're in overtime 5 minutes after the hour. Dr. Delay shut us down.
Thank you guys all for hanging out. Make sure again to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Been seeing your comments. You guys are awesome. You guys are legends. So again, you
Awesome
guys all
stuff.
have a great rest of your day. I guess we'll catch you next time right
We
here
will.
on the
2
show.
plus 2 equals 5 for very large amounts of 2. Stay crazy, stay mad. This world has gone mad. Football's gone mad. And it's just straight up bonkers. Enjoy the football season. We will see you on, let's see, today's Monday. Thursday. Pre-snap, read.